Hi, it's Charlie giving you Monday's video update. Just do a video here. I know appreciate it's a bank holiday here in the UK, so most of us aren't working, and so just make this video brief. But I wanted to look at your consistency record. Let's call it consistency record. Okay, I don't need to really try and too hard on trying to spell that. Consistency record, and so what I mean by that is you have different paths of getting an equity curve from the bottom left to top right. You can have nice and steady eddy, like this, or you could have an equity curve that looks more like this. And really, it doesn't really matter which one you choose. If they're both fairly consistent, then obviously this one has deeper drawdowns, but it's still working and it's still going up. Sometimes you can have an equity graph that moves like this, so it's just going sideways. So we don't want that. But these two are fine, and so it depends on which one you're comfortable with. Some people will have a certain trading style which will have those deeper drawdowns that come. But if their equity curve keeps going back up to new equity highs, then it's working for them. So that's absolutely fine. So it depends on what you want as a trader from your equity curve. What I would suggest or think is that most traders would rather not have those deeper drawdowns. They'd rather have these sort of shallower ones. And the way to go about that is, once you do go into drawdown, make sure that you downsize your positions. Once you go into drawdown period, downsize until you start seeing your P&L start to turn back up, even with the downsized positions. And what you'll find that way is your drawdowns are that much shallower and that much more comfortable, and then you can always then increase your position size again once your equity curve starts going back up again. So just manage those drawdowns. Don't do what the majority of traders do, which is then start to increase their position size during a drawdown, trying to get back up quicker, because what can very often happen is that by increasing your position size, the drawdown actually, instead of going up, Murphy's law kicks in and it comes down, because you have another loser or two and it comes down even further. So one worthwhile, and also I appreciate there's traders out there who are looking maybe at some point to trade other people's money, to maybe go into some sort of trading management. I've just been asked to trade quite a significant amount of money from a fund, and the thing that they've liked when they've seen all of my accounts is that, because obviously they have to see all my accounts, so they have to go through all those and do all their dissection of those, is that the drawdowns are managed, so they can see that on my equity graphs that I've got managed drawdowns, because that's what they're always looking for. It's the risk management. And so yeah, something to ponder on. If you've currently got moves like this, there's no point looking back at that and then saying, oh yeah, but such and such happened then, oh, and such happened then, in order to create that. You need to break that habit of if there were bad things that happened in order for that to happen, so that you can therefore to try and strive for that smoother equity graph, rather than using excuses as to, oh yeah, but that won't happen again, and then something else happens several months later, oh, that won't happen again now. So it's a case of looking at what you're doing and ensuring that, okay, what I'm going to do is not go for these really steep upside amounts when it goes up. I'm not going to bat for the hills there. What I'm going to do is go for a smoother equity curve, but with a lower drawdown, and creating that type of track record starts to become interesting to us, to money managers and their likes. Right, okay, so let's have a very quick look at the markets. Obviously it's bank holiday here in the UK today, so it's making the markets are very slow. This is a daily chart of the dollar yen. It's coming back down for the lower trend line again. It poked up on Friday. I thought that was it. We were off to the races. I was in that dollar yen position. I'd moved my stop up, so I still had a profit on it. But obviously it did that big reversal on Friday, so it stopped me out for a smaller gain. But it was still a nice end to the week, really, on Friday, from Friday's trading. But so what now, really? So I'm flat currently. Currently, I'm not looking to trade today. So what I'm looking for, there is certainly that potential for the dollar yen to want to come down to that daily 200. However, this trend channel line, I don't know whether this is going to, how much this is going to get breached, if it does get breached, because it's fairly flat, and so we could carry on moseying around in this trend channel for some time yet. So I think it's just worthwhile noting that if we do start coming down, just be aware of that daily 200. It may be slightly lower down actually on e-signals charts to that of telecharts here, so I'll have to double check that. But certainly there's some prices down towards 101 down here. Certainly there's some support levels coming in down there, so down into the low 101s. So I think there's some opportunity down there if it displays sell signals. Today the markets are just too quiet, and it's a similar sort of situation with obviously the euro dollar. Let's see if I can find it here. Euro dollar just what, 3 weeks? How long has it been now? Almost a month now of really just sideways sort of range. Makes it very, very tough. Friday again had a nice plunge down on the news on non-farm payrolls, but once traders realised that actually maybe the news wasn't quite as good as they thought, it's come straight back up again. So is it now going to break up? Well, that remains to be seen. So we need to see a break of what, 139, and then we'll see if it can actually have a lunge for that elusive 140 level. So, but at the moment I'm just sort of taking a step back and just keeping an eye on these markets and letting them tell me what they want to do, because I've still felt that we were making marginal new highs back here, and the potential was that's it. Now we have actually, as a result of those marginal new highs, we've now worked that off to an extent, because as time goes on, then you're working off that price action. So maybe it's just allowed the euro dollar to actually build some momentum for an upside flush. So we'll see. But I'm not too fussed on it right now. It's been a horrible chart over the last several weeks. So what charts have been better? Well, the pound dollar is a better chart. It's a better chart. It went sideways for a couple of weeks here. Then it had a 1 or 2 day breakout, and then it's sort of consolidated again. So it's not the best of price actions. But so where am I most interested at the moment? The pound Aussie's had quite a nice run actually. So I'm going to be watching this pound Aussie. It's had a good run here off these lows, so there could be some opportunities on the pound Aussie over the next week or two. And I think also with the Aussie dollar as well, I think there's going to be some opportunities as well. Again, it's been sideways for the last week, but not quite as bad as the euro dollar. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on that Aussie dollar as that comes down in towards support. That weekly chart, I think it's coming back down towards that daily 50, weekly 50, and I think that it starts getting interesting there. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm just letting the markets move, let them tell me what to do. The main thing is that there's big Aussie dollar news out overnight tonight, I think it is. I haven't checked yet, but I think it's overnight tonight. So there's going to be, that's their interest rate announcement, so that could be quite big for the Aussie dollar overnight. So watch the Aussie. And then on Thursday, obviously, we've got the ECB press conference, and so that's going to be very big for the euro dollar. So there's some decent news out this week, which will be helping to push these markets around. So the euro dollar may still stagnate until Thursday, but certainly the Aussie dollar pairs are the ones to be watching with the news coming out later today. Right, I'll leave that with you. Have a great week. Back on Friday.